Hello and welcome to Psychology Live. I'm Dr. Gail Majcher and with me is Mary DiPaolo, limited licensed psychologist. We have started a series on divorce and the first episode was on the tragedy of divorce and how difficult it really is. In our second episode, we talked about some specific cases. Today we are going to answer a viewer's question because it's such a relevant topic and it's one we both have seen, I don't even know how many times in therapy. And there's lots of different aspects to it, so we're going to get to it today.
Here's the question. And we appreciate all your questions, by the way, so keep them coming, whether you email us or just ask them. Send it through YouTube or on our Facebook page, Psychology Live. That's where you can contact.
Or our websites, just plug in our name. You'll find all kinds of contact info.
Okay. I've been involved with my wife's very close friend for the past 4 years. Our spouses and friends have suspected our involvement, but 1 year ago, she got a divorce and has been waiting for me to get mine. Now, however, she has started dating and I'm beside myself. We are arguing and all trust has been broken, so help.
Well, okay, let's begin with the most glaring, obvious issue. You got involved while you were both married. And when you get involved, when you're both married, the foundation of your relationship is based in mistrust.
And deceit.
And deceit. In a healthy relationship, a foundation is begun with the two people. When you're married, it's begun with four. And that does not make for a healthy foundation. Mm-hmm. So right off, no matter what happens, there's going to be mistrust. Makes me think of a couple I saw a few years ago, same scenario, and there was that mistrust. They were always wondering if the other one was up to something because of the way their relationship began, but they were so madly in love, they got divorced from their spouses and married each other. Well, after about 3 years into the relationship, she did start cheating on him and left him for somebody else.
Well, and what I think of when I read that is, okay, really? Like, you meet under these deceitful, clandestine, if you will, circumstances. I've got them in the office where they tell me all about their fighting, blah, blah, blah. And then when I say, well, how did you meet? They'll say how they met, but they won't say, oh, by the way, we were each married to other people when we met. We were an affair couple. I'm like, oh, you got to be freaking kidding me.
Okay, if you go in for therapy, tell the truth.
Tell the truth,
We
please.
can only deal with what you give us.
That's right, because we can't read your minds. We weren't there.
We will not judge you. We want to help you.
That's right. And the other thing is this. Think of how easy it is to go into denial about your own story, about how you met. Like you forget or you don't want to face it or you don't want to look at it too deeply. Right. So it's like, oh yeah, we met, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, seriously? And I'll never forget one couple in particular. I go, wait a minute. You were friends with each other's spouses? Like, what up? Because they just skip that part.
Yeah, or they change the story. They'll say, oh, this is how we began our relationship. Then a little while later, they'll tell a different story. And it's like, okay,
something's
now
up
I know
here.
You're lying because those are two different versions of how you really met. Okay, so getting back to this issue, there's so much in there.
She got divorced.
She got divorced a year ago. So she is obviously waiting for him to get his divorce. And now she's going to start dating. And he's upset that she's dating. But he's married.
Right.
And he is not getting a divorce yet.
This reminds me of the couple that I saw many, many years ago that were swinging, and I don't mean like monkeys in a tree, if you know what I'm saying. And then he starts getting all upset when she's going on, business calls involving men who were in her field that he didn't already know. And his big thing was, well, what if she's starting something? What if she's doing something? What if she's cheating on me? And my response was, wait a minute. So it's okay if you're cheating on each other when you each know about it together, but then you can't trust each other at work. Are you kidding me?
That makes me think of a couple that I saw, this is a few years ago, where they decided to bring another man into the bedroom. So they were having threesomes on a regular basis. Then all of a sudden her husband decided, as Christians, they shouldn't be doing this. So she continued the affair with the other guy. And then they came into therapy because he was upset because she was having an affair. What?
Like,
you're the one who
hello.
brought the man to
That's right.
your bed.
But see, this is how denial and dysfunction can work hand in hand, or fist in fist, because you only want to acknowledge certain parts of reality and, you know, completely ignore or escape from other certain parts of reality, which is not good for you. Just saying.
So getting back to this question, he is still divorced. She is not. She is single. It's been a year. Hopefully she's worked through some of her stuff. If she wants to date, she can date.
Right.
She is single.
And for him to say all trust has been broken, really, yeah, that happened like a long time ago when you two first hooked up. So don't be talking about trust being broken now, because your whole life in this relationship context, the trust was broken all along. So how now all of a sudden are you going to be people, and I hate to put it this way, but I'm going to because I can, how are you going to be people of integrity now when you weren't people of integrity from the get-go?
That's the hard thing. Now, I can tell you, I've seen some couples in this scenario that get divorces, that get together, and the marriage does work. But it's hard work because that foundation is really rocky. So the whole foundation has to be rebuilt. And it's hard. It's really hard work. And many times people don't want to do hard work. But to make that kind of relationship work, you have to rebuild that foundation. Just think about how you have to crack down the other one and rebuild a new one. And it's difficult. So sometimes it can work, but it's hard. Okay, so there's mistrust going on. He doesn't trust her because she's dating. She, of course, doesn't trust him because he's still married. Well, what do you expect?
And think about what that teaches the children involved. We were just talking about a case where the original parents, who are our age range, he was cheating on her all throughout the marriage, but she put up with it. So theirs was like up, down, drama, crisis, chaos, drama. These kids of theirs observe this stuff, and now everybody's like, question mark now, when one of the kids has a spouse that's exactly the same way as daddy was. Are you kidding me? Of course that's going to happen.
Of course that is going to happen. These people, I don't know, she didn't say if they have, or he didn't say if they have children.
No, but I'm just saying, because I've had enough of...
say some people suspect.
Yeah.
But of course, children learn what they live.
That's right. They learn what they live. And so when they repeat it, don't be shocked.
Yeah, and parents think if it's not voiced, well, then the kids aren't aware. Of course they're aware.
Yep.
They can watch it.
Exactly. And I have had teenage kids say to me, I think my mom has a boyfriend because she does this, she does that. And it's like, yeah, hello. Like, where are you, mom? Living in a black hole of denial, like your kid doesn't hear anything? Are you kidding me?
Kids are so smart.
They are.
They know when something's going on. And it does them an imprint in their little minds what relationships are all about. Mm-hmm. That couple that you were talking about, how there was all kinds of unfaithfulness there, and now with adult kids, that's what goes on.
Same thing all over again.
You know, it's like the sins of the father get passed down, get passed down, or the mother, either one. It does. We're teaching children how to be by the way we are.
We don't just teach them the good lessons. We teach them the bad lessons and the ugly lessons too, even though we like to deny that.
And when you get into these kind of affairs, like we talked about last time, it really is an escape from reality. Mm-hmm. And so because it feels so good, it's like a drug. It's like a cocaine high, supposedly in the brain chemistry. It just feels so good. You just want to keep doing it, that you don't think about how it's impacting other people. If your children see you on texting all the time, you can guess they know who you're texting, or they've seen who you're texting, or you're taking secret calls in another room. They know it. They catch you. So anyway, it's not just about you, and it's just not about that person. It's about everyone else. But in this situation, if she wants to date, go ahead and date.
Right.
And for him, do whatever you're going to do with your marriage. Either go into marriage counseling and make it work, or end the marriage if that's what you want to do. But even then, you will need time to heal.
I was going to say, I've had some pretty incorrigible clients over the years where it was pretty much predicted by them and everyone they knew that they were headed for divorce. And for me, they came to me for what we call the count the cost sessions, which is looking at how a divorce would truly affect them. But you know, I hope with me springs eternal. I have been able to assist in the turning around of a chronically unfaithful marital situation so that they really could receive their hope and healing because they were doing their work and they were committed to doing their work, so that may have been a part of their history, but it didn't define them for the rest of their history. They really did break the addiction.
That's a really important point, because it seems like when it comes to marriage counseling, almost anything can be overcome if both couples are willing to work on it and willing to work on it with all of their mental energy, because it's hard. When there's been an affair, obviously it's very hard to put that marriage back together again, but it can be done.
Sure it can.
And then they can go on and have a good life. I've seen that happen with many, many couples. So that certainly is possible. Maybe it's possible for you, the person who wrote this question. We don't know, maybe. But you cannot go to marriage counseling and have 3 people.
Right. Or 4 or 6.
Yeah. You have to, if you have a third party involved, you have to cut that out if you want marriage counseling to work.
You have to be able to focus and be committed to your own situation, not have that other escape hatch always available there to distract yourself away from your work.
Yeah, it just doesn't work. I said that so many times to couples. Okay, if there's a third party involved, you have to make an agreement with me right now that you will end that immediately, and then we can do marriage counseling. If you want to keep the third party situation going, we cannot do marriage counseling.
Right.
You can't.
It's true.
Yeah, it just doesn't work.
All right, so I think we're at the end of our time. It's been a great series, and we look forward to the next one with you.
And we look forward to your questions. And if there's topics that you really want us to cover, just let us know, because we'd be more than happy to do that. Our goal is to help you. So if we can help you, let us know.
Bye-bye.
Bye.